Hola a todos, ¿qué tal? Bueno, so today I wanted to talk about something I came across on Twitter last night and I thought it would be interesting to discuss. Now, it's a bit different from what I normally post here, but who doesn't like a bit of gossip? Well, this is kind of a serious thing because when I read it, I was in between two minds and I really wanted to discuss this. So I came across this tweet on Twitter, obviously, last night, and it's about one email she received. Now she posted a tweet saying, "I have received this email in reference to an exam from college. I have no words." It's in Spanish, so I'll be translating simultaneously. And the message says, "Good morning, blank name. Could you please tell me about what topics will be in the exam? Sorry for being cheeky, but like you and me know, we don't have much free time, and the little that we have, I'd like to make the most of, and I would go for the units that you could tell me, rather than looking at others that are not that important." My first thought was, that is cheeky, not gonna lie. But then when I was reflecting on this, I had a lot of thoughts about it. This is really hard for people who are working and for people who have lost jobs. It is true. We don't really realize how much students are suffering because of the lack of classes and because of the lack of guidance from teachers. I'm not saying that this person is not a good teacher, because I have no idea who she is. I have no idea of what she's teaching. I think it's something about medicine, so it's true that a student who is going to be a future doctor shouldn't be asking what units he should be learning or he should be studying. But let's not forget about how much students are suffering these days because of like I said, teachers don't keep up with their work. They don't send much information about things, and I really don't think it's a good idea to make fun of them. But then I thought, no, she's just discussing this, and look, the internet is a place where everybody can express their opinions, but this teacher should know better. First of all, because she's been a student and she knows how frustrating it is, and second, she should know how much students are suffering these days. And I can see that with my own students, that they get frustrated and they get nervous because of the lack of news and everything. Like, if it's hard for us, imagine for someone who's going to do an exam. It's something that teachers should know better. That's why I can understand this teacher, because she is exposing a problem and she could think that the students are lazy, but we should think about those students who don't really have much information or guidance from teachers. To me, that looks like an innocent message. It could be cheeky, could be, but to me it looks more a cry for help, and I totally understand. In that message, if I were the teacher, I would say, look, I am sorry, I cannot help you. I mean, you need to study everything and do your best. But this type of teacher, seeing what she has done, which is exposing that on the internet, I don't expect much from her, to be honest, because those things should be kept in private, in my opinion. Now, why am I saying this? Because some teachers, I mean, there's so many teachers who are there because of pay or because of they had to. I don't really know. But when I was in college, I had this problem. In my final year, I had a subject called North American Literature, and I had a teacher. Well, we had to write a dissertation on The Great Gatsby, and this teacher was okay. Like, he was in his I would say late 20s back then, early 30s, and he was probably starting, I don't really know, but we had to write this dissertation, and I was going through some stuff back then, personal stuff, and I knew that my dissertation, I wrote it very quickly because I was on a deadline, and I just left it there. I wasn't proud of it, so I wrote it on a deadline. I handed it in, and then I had this call from the teacher saying, "Could you come to my office?" I said, "Yeah." So he, this way, and I'm not exaggerating, he was like, "What is this?" And I said, "My dissertation on The Great Gatsby." And he said, "This is bad." But like this, and I was like, hold on, I don't think you should be talking to a student like that. And he started saying, these mistakes, they shouldn't be acceptable for someone who is in fourth year of these studies or this course. And I was like, I didn't know what to say, because I was going through a rough patch back then, and I that was the last thing I wanted. Like, college was my escape from other things that were going in my life back then. And to me, saying that was, oh my god, it was so bad. And he was like, you shouldn't be in this course, you shouldn't be studying this. I mean, if you're writing something like this, you shouldn't be here. And to me, knowing that was my escape and I wasn't accepted there, oh my god, I remember one of my friends waiting for me outside. As long as I came out of his office, I started crying. I was desperate, because we all have a bad day, and this person wouldn't even ask, look, I've seen other dissertations from you and this is not okay, but maybe in the next one you'll do better. I don't really know. And he could have had a bad day, but we all have bad days. And now as a teacher, I realized that I had a bad day, and I don't take it on the students. And sometimes I read things that I think he or she shouldn't be writing this at this point, but we don't really know what is behind that, what problems, what circumstances, and we should be more understanding. That's why these people shouldn't be in the teaching field, because they are toxic, really toxic. This person exposing that, maybe it's in that moment she didn't think of what harm she would do, but she shouldn't be doing that, because you don't really know in what circumstances the people are, especially in pandemic times. So I want to hear what you think. Would you agree on exposing something, maybe asking for opinions, or would you keep it in secret? I mean, I have exposed, like I'm the person who, for example, if one of my students says something fun, I say I have to say this because it's really fun, and I'm the first person who shares the stories, but I never share anything that could, it could hurt somebody. And unfortunately, in some institutions, like more like colleges, people are very big-headed, and they should try to understand students and understand that they once were there, and they need to understand, especially these days. Let me read what you think. Would you agree with me? Would you agree with these teachers? I want to hear your opinions, and goodbye.